Hello, everybody. Welcome to Diamond Effect podcast 175. Today, I want to talk about how to balance running a busy, demanding business and also the demands on your personal life. So, as a business coach, my clients range in age vastly. I have clients who are in their late 20s, early 30s, and clients who are middle age, like my age, clients who are baby boomers, and even older. This week, I was actually talking to one of my baby boomer clients who is in that sandwich generation type of situation where her kids are still teenagers and young enough to be staying with her and her partner. And her parents are older and aging and now demand a lot of attention and caregiving. And while she's doing all that, she has a multi-million dollar business that is also demanding. And of course, she wants to grow it, but even keep going because she still has a while to go. And she's very passionate about what she's doing. So I wanted this podcast to help those of you who are in this situation where you have a business that's successful and it's also busy and demanding, and you have a personal life that demands of your attention more and more, that has high demands of your energy and so on. Now, before we get into the topic, I wanted to refer you to podcast episode 155, where I interviewed another client of mine, a CEO of a seven-figure business, Gabrielle Pizzali from Pizzali Design. And Gabrielle is actually super good about balancing the same situation. Doesn't mean it's easy, but she figured it out. And in that episode, we do talk about it. So if you want to hear it also from somebody else who is running a business and it's in that situation, not only from me, go to episode 155. The first thing that I want to talk about, it's a mindset shift that I want to invite you to adopt. A lot of people tell themselves that it's impossible to create balance and it's impossible to somehow successfully manage it all. And at the same time, they're telling themselves that they don't have time for self care. They don't have time to take time for themselves. And what I want to say is that there is definitely no balance without self care. Self care is a key ingredient, a key component to creating some sort of balance in your life and being able to juggle multiple priorities without burning out, without losing it completely mentally or exhausting yourself. So, once again, there is no balance without self care. And we'll talk a lot today about self care and why. I'm sure you've heard it so many times. You can't pour from an empty cup, right? You can't run an engine without a fuel. You can't make high quality decisions in your business and in your personal life when you are drained and in survival mode. Because when we're in that survival mode, our brain kind of shuts down the executive functioning of our brain, where we can logically think through things, because that requires energy. So the brain wants to conserve that energy because it's in a survival mode, and it creates us, we just react, right? The decisions we make are very reactive. They're shortcut decisions, and usually they're not the best decisions for us, not even short term, but this definitely long term. And making a bunch of decisions like that, especially in your business, can be very detrimental. Also, think about it, when we're rested, we're also more effective and more productive. The more tired you are, the more drained you are, the longer it takes to even complete any tasks. You lose motivation, you lose your mental balance is affected. So even if maybe right now you're okay and you're juggling it, you're getting tired, but you're juggling it, it will slow you down the road. And that's the thing you want to avoid. So The first thing I want to give you, it's what I gave my clients when we were coaching this week, is do a little bit of an exercise that's called Wheel of Life. It's a life coaching exercise where you want to assess on a scale of 1 to 10, or even 0 to 10, zero meaning very bad, or up to the five, like it's not great, it needs attention, to between 5 and 10. It's like, okay, it's okay. It can be like that for now, or it's great. I don't need to improve anything. So, on that scale, you want to access a few areas of your life. So, the first one is your financial situation and also your business, right? So, your career, professional life. The next one is your mental health, or how do you feel? Self development, education. Do you feel motivated, looking for growth, self development, and so on? The third one is your physical health. So, how is your body feeling, right? Are you exhausted all the time? Are you not feeling great because you find yourself either not eating enough, or eating in between, running to different things, or grabbing junk or fast food, right? Most of the time. How the next area is your social circle and kind of your friends and the cultural, right? So are you going out to movies, to theaters? Are you taking care of that part of your humanity of us being? The second last one is spiritual. So whether you believe in God, or whether you're just spiritual, how your soul is feeling, how do you feel in your soul? And then the last one is family and home, right? So extended family, but also your nuclear family, whomever you live in your home, whether you have kids, a partner, doesn't matter. So then when you assess it, an ideal way is to do it in a circle, right? So each of those areas is a piece of the pie. When you assess it, you will realize that some areas are maybe a 6 and 7 or 8, and some areas could be a 2. And that's where you figure out where the imbalance is and which areas need more attention than others. So, for example, in the client that I talk about case, her mental, physical, and spiritual health right now needs most attention. Other areas are okay. Her business, of course, it can always get better, can always grow, but we're working on it. We're improving things. So maintaining status quo and keep going where she is will get her to the goals that she has, right? Or even in her personal life and personal little relationships and friends, she has certain habits established, certain routines, certain things. And for now, that's okay, even though it's not 10. Now, if you do it for yourself, your results could be different. Maybe you're great in self care and taking care of yourself because you have those different demands, but maybe your financial situation, or maybe your business requires more attention, or maybe it's the relationships with more of a social life. Once you determine that, you want to start putting a little bit of more intention in shifting the areas that are urgently require attention. So then they grow on that scale, right? So they go from 2 to 3 to 4 to 5. So you establish more or less more balance in your entire life. So I want to talk about self care just because it's part of my coaching, what I do with my clients. It's part of Top CEO formula. And that part is called high performance enhancer. And as I said, there's no balance without self care. And I know that a lot of you actually neglect that area very often because we just go, we're passionate, we're high achievers, we want to help everybody, we love our clients. So self care takes a backseat, or it's not even on the list. So when I coach my clients on self care or enhancing their performance as CEO, I group the activities or habits and routines that we step by step implement in 3 areas. First one is things you do daily. to allow yourself to function at the highest level, to allow your brain to be in the executive function part to make better decisions, to allow yourself to fill your cup so then you feel motivated and therefore you're more effective in completing your daily tasks. So, into daily routines, what comes into that is a couple of things. First, having something, whether it's a morning routine or whether it's one habit or something that grounds you in the morning, that prepares you for the day, where you can be present, ground yourself, de stress before the day started, and be prepared for whatever the day brings you. The second thing is having breaks throughout the day, mental breaks and kind of physical breaks, right? So if you are a business owner who has a lot of meetings, don't schedule the meetings back to back. Have 10 minutes in between meetings when you can step from the computer, move around, if you think about your brain having different drawers for different parts of your business, to be able to close one drawer if you had a meeting, let's say about sales, and then you're moving into meeting for operations, you can open that drawer, right? And also allow yourself to move so you're not stiff, your muscles are not tense, and so on. So having that in your day-to-day routine where you intentionally set up those breaks. And then, of course, proper breaks for eating and maybe a bit of movement, even if it's a 10-minute walk around the block. And then another thing is having a daily reflection, whether it's gratitude or how the day went and so on. And I always recommend it to do it in the evening where you can wind down from the day, put whatever thoughts you have left on paper, and then prepare yourself for better quality sleep. The second group of activities, routines, or habits are weekly. So, weekly, you want to schedule some time off for yourself, whether it's just for you or whether it's spending quality time, let's say with your family, friends, or loved ones, right? So, filling in those other parts of your life. So, in terms of my client, for example, where she found herself was that she was working hard in her business Monday to Friday. And then on the weekends, she's going to her parents, helping them, cleaning the house, doing all the things for them, while the other day of the weekend, doing all the same things in her own home with no minute to rest, with no time to wind down, to physically rest, mentally rest, right? And then food is part of that, establishing some time off. And for example, for me, getting help in cleaning your house, it's not a luxury. It's something that is way worth the investment. That is an investment in your performance, in your self care that will then pay off multiple times in your business. When you, for example, make better decisions or in your relationships, when you're not getting snappy and so on, right? I remember for us, we got help in cleaning our house after my second son was born, which was like a fourth child. I have two stepboys. And because we found ourselves with our husband spending most of the weekend just tending to responsibilities, cleaning, laundry, shopping, driving kids to different places, and we were exhausted going into the week of work. So I'd rather even not go out to dinner so often, reflect if I need another piece of clothing and be able to get the help of cleaning. Of having time off, creating that time for yourself, you want to, within that time, do some self care activities. And they can be as simple as walk in nature, taking a bath, or going to a spa, whatever it is, whatever you like, whatever is within your means. And also, once a week, have a CEO Power Hour where you also reflect on the week, where you can jot down some ideas or maybe things that come up for you that need to be still addressed and things like that. So you're not caught forgetting something. You don't catch yourself missing an important details because you're running, 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 and you don't have time to put the pieces of puzzle together to consider different scenarios and so on. And then the third group of activities, it's more long-term activities where something that doesn't happen weekly or daily, but maybe monthly, quarterly, or a couple of times a year. And those things have to be scheduled, right? Those things are not habits that you can establish and you'll be consistent in them because they happen so rarely. They're more an ad hoc thing, but it has to be intentionally scheduled because if you ever wait for things to happen or just have time for it, that's never going to happen. We never just have time for something we don't intentionally schedule and think about. So, in terms of self care, it's some breaks, like going away on vacation, whether it's once a year, whether it's twice a year, whether it's quarterly, whatever you can do within your means. But I find that taking vacation away from home, even if it's camping, even if it's very simple things, allows you to restore even more, allows you to really relax, forget about the day to day, and refill yourself. You find that if I ever take vacation at home, which I avoid doing, it's not really vacation because even if you're not working in your business, there's always things to do at home. And it just doesn't work as well. Doing reviews of your business and life. So, for example, quarterly, I always coach my clients looking back at your business monthly or quarterly, or at worst, twice a year to see what has been working, what needs to be adjusted, what hasn't worked. And you can do it for your personal life as well. The reflections and information that you will take out of it will be invaluable. So, spending some time to sit down, look back, reflect, and evaluate. And then annually, doing strategic planning for your business. You could do strategic planning or more like goal setting or vision setting for your personal life as well. Now, I do want to talk about to those of you, if you did the wheel of life and the area that needs improvement is not necessarily your physical or mental health, but your business or financial situation, is doing that review of your business, right? Understanding what's going on and why, what are the root causes of whatever problems are showing up, and then creating a plan to address that. Now, what I want to invite you to do is schedule a free consultation with me because as an expert and objective eye onto your business, I will quickly see after asking you some detailed questions. It's what are the root causes of whatever is happening. And I always share during free consults with my clients is what can you do to address that? And then of course, if clients want my help, we talk about that. But if they don't, at least you're taking that information and that's invaluable and it's going to happen within 45 minutes. Sometimes when we try to do things on our own, we procrastinate, we never do it. So getting that free consult is invaluable. I will share the link with you. Reach out, book an appointment in my calendar. You definitely will take a lot of value out of it. Okay, so now final thoughts about how to implement it, because you're probably thinking, okay, Maggie, that's great, but that's a lot of things you're talking about, and I might not have any of it, or I have some, but a lot is missing. What do I do now? The first thing I want to say is that you need to be intentional about it. It's not going to happen on its own. Nothing ever happens on its own. You need to set certain things in motion. And in order to be intentional about it, you need to prioritize it. And that's your decision, right? We put priority on something that's important to us, and you're the only one to create that reason. You're the only one to create maybe certain urgency around changing or improving parts of your life or business, right? You're the one who can prioritize. Nobody else can do it for you. Now, Once you do that, then you can assess and think, okay, what is the most important thing that I need to address? What are the solutions to address that? And what are the most simple and easy solutions that I can start with that will give me the most results? So you always want to start with low hanging fruit, right? So in my client's case, for example, hiring help to clean the house, it's probably the easiest and fastest because that will create time for her to then maybe do some self care, right? Or spend time with her family and kind of rest and relax so she's not as drained and exhausted after the weekend, right? For another person, it could be okay, let me just start with breaks during the day. I will make sure that I take 2 breaks every day. That's doable. I can do 5, 10 minutes, right? So, whatever is the simplest and the easiest, start with that. You will see the results. And once you see the results, you will want to do more. So, have that clarity on what's important, put a priority on it, and start easy and simple. Now, another thing that we often forget is that within your week right now, there will be things that are not as important, but you're doing it because either you're in the habit of doing them, you've always done them, or maybe because they feel comfortable. I was coaching another client this week and we were talking about marketing and selling and creating time for that. And when we looked at her week and what she was doing, it turns out that she was also developing certain solutions to the service that the business that she runs with her partner as well provides. But the main developer is her partner. And the development that she was doing wasn't really necessary at this stage of their business. So that's what I said. You can just stop doing that for now until it's really needed and focus the time on marketing and sales, right? So eliminating what's really not the most important will also give you time to do what is. And as I mentioned before, I can help you not only decide in what needs to be addressed, why does it need to be addressed, and what is the best solution for it, but I can help you implement. That's what coaching is all about. Not only giving you a bunch of tasks, but really making it easy and simple to implement. And through our weekly meetings, you create a lot of progress. And then we tweak things, we improve things. And through that, there is a compounding effect and benefits in your business and personal life. Here is what one of my clients says. So often in small business, we're so busy working in the business that we overlook or put off working on the business. Maggie's assistance and support is invaluable in helping to establish priorities, develop strategic plans while gently holding you accountable so you carve out time to work on and elevating your business. Our weekly meetings are always enjoyable. So even though Maggie's going to follow up to ensure that you have completed tasks that you committed to and agreed with, I always look forward to those meetings. How much better prepared I feel to continue grow and develop my business. And one thing what I want to also mention is that this particular client, when we started working or before we started working together, their work-life balance was really non-existent. He was working very late at night, doing paperwork and so on. And by the time we finished, not only his business grows considerably, and also he's no longer working crazy nights and took his first vacation in, I don't remember, 7 or 8 years. So it's possible to grow your business and have a life that you enjoy while also supporting those who need your support and loved ones. But it starts with being intentional about creating it. I can definitely help you. Reach out to me. Let's have a free consult. I will share the links. Have a fantastic week. Bye.